Hi, welcome to our spring video. In this video, I'm going to share with you some really fun activities that you can do at home with your little ones during spring. Hi, welcome to my channel. This is my More to Life vlog channel where I'm just journaling the ways that we are finding more in life. I'm definitely not the average modern day mama. I try to do things differently. I love finding my own way of doing all different things in motherhood. And what I'm most passionate about is having my children home with me during their school years. Yes, I'm homeschooling, and we do a lot of play-based learning. And in this video, I'm sharing some ways that we're learning this spring. So spring is finally here, and we have been so excited. We've been outside planting. We've been finding lots of worms after the, all the spring rain. The kids have been digging them up, playing with them, yeah. All things spring. And so we are taking it inside the house as well. And we've decorated a little corner of our basement to be our little spring corner with lots of different learning opportunities and lots of different dramatic play area opportunities, even a writing center. So I'm going to walk you through everything that you need to know that, if you really are interested in just doing one of these things, all of these things, it is super easy. The kids are having a great time, and I actually really enjoyed setting it up and doing it with them. So we will have this for our whole week, and we'll be doing probably even more than I thought of today. Like, this is all the things I thought of today. But there's just so many different learning opportunities. The springtime, there's just so many changes. So we actually have a book called Dug This Out When Spring Comes, and we talked about all the different changes that happen during spring. And one of our favorite things every spring is to start planting. So immediately we went this past weekend and started planting and how plants grow. So that's a really great learning opportunity, especially when homeschooling, even if you're not homeschooling. But I've never been a very earth science person until I started doing things with my own hands and started gardening and learning about the worms. And we actually, because they're so interested in these worms, we have gone onto YouTube and typed in earthworm videos, and we've watched several earthworm videos, and now my kids are walking around telling everybody how the worms are good for us, right?
When you eat banana, you don't put banana peel in garbage. You need to put it in stash, so when it will go, it will turn into green flower. It will the pretty.
Yeah, so basically we learned about composting and how you can actually, create a compost right in your backyard, and she was learning about the banana peels. Also, you can just, grow fruits and vegetables by recycling your scraps. So this book, we actually learn all about planting your scraps, your food scraps, and actually starting a garden right from scratch. So this talks about burying your peach seed and lots of fun things. So and all these books, I've been so fortunate collecting them over the years. I don't even know how I ended up with all these books, but I did not purchase really any of these books. They're books that I've had from my childhood, from relatives that worked in schools, and their school library were getting rid of books, and they've given them to me. I've gotten them as hand-me-downs from various people. Even when a bookstore was closing, I think I went and purchased some books. I will try to go ahead and find all of these books on Amazon or somewhere where I can link below if you're really interested in it. This is another great one that we've been talking about, busy bees, and they're everywhere, and the kids are wanting to know, is this one dangerous? What does this one do? Because there's tons of different bees. So we've been learning about that as well. And so another thing also in this spring theme is birds. Like, all the birds are out, and all you hear is the little birds singing and everything. So we have been enjoying this game, Bird Bingo. It's about $13 on Amazon. We tried coordinating a bunch of spring puzzles. So when I came up with what I was going to include for this week during our spring celebration week of creating a little corner of dramatic play, arts and crafts, sensory stuff, anything related to spring, I thought of, okay, you know, we're seeing bees. I just went on what they're interested in. I basically went off what they have been interested in lately when we've been outside. They've been noticing the bees, the birds. They've been noticing all the greenery, the flowers coming up, and we started our garden with some veggies. So we have the vegetables over in the windowsill. They pretended they were gardening. I have some flowers, and we have been just pretending there's a floral shop, and one of the things that my daughter has been doing is pretending she's selling the flowers. Another idea is basically that we can just pretend that we are planting. Also, Mother's Day is this weekend, so they have been pretending to buy flowers for Mother's Day. Over on the wall, we have some flowers and pictures of different types of flowers and the anatomy of a flower, the different parts of a flower. We have some bees taped all around so that we can go ahead and look at the bees, and we're learning about the bees, how they make honey. So we even set up a bee station, and we have a jar of honey, and the kids have pretending to sample the honey and buy the honey. So that's been fun, and we have some sunflower seeds as our spring snack, and we also have a bag of gummy worms for a spring snack.
And made $10 piece. Thank you.
What I actually didn't have a chance to set up was I wanted to have in the block area, I wanted to create a playground. We have a little playground set with the slide and the seesaw and the swing. And I wanted to create a little block area and create a little fence and a little playground, because another thing that we enjoy in the spring is visiting the playground or playing outside on our little swing set. So that was another activity I was going to set up. The learning opportunities are endless here. So basically, they're just learning through play without even realizing it's a learning experience. So when we are pretending to buy honey at our little honey shop, we're dealing with math. I quickly did a little bit of the video, but I'm going to elaborate a lot more, obviously, when I'm not on camera and I'm working with the children and I'm playing, and I'm explaining to them, like, the math and how much a honey jar could be, and we're adding and subtracting, trying to figure out the change, and we're reading all the books and we're learning facts. My son is reading them to me, and Scarlett is being exposed to the literature, and she's starting to pick up on words even at 4 years old. And the texture table is a great sensory learning opportunity for the toddler. And when you're using your hands and you're using your senses, it enhances brain development. So that is awesome for her. We are getting a ton of information on YouTube as well. So anything that I do not know how to elaborate on, or they want to learn beyond what we're reading in our books, we pull up a YouTube video, like the worms I was explaining to you. They actually could watch the videos of what happens to the worms when they're under the ground. What are the worms good for? A video of explaining, like, the different parts of the worms, a bee, all the different versions of bees, and this is just so much. Like, I can't even explain to you, like, how much we're learning just because it's springtime. And so that's my favorite part about homeschooling, and that's my passion about learning through play. I'm trying to make everything developmentally appropriate per age, so I have things for each age group. And and the bird bingo game is awesome. We're learning a lot about birds, and we're learning about vegetables because we're planting, and the climate and the ground and all this stuff, and, like, why vegetables are good for us, why we're planting them. Is an electric zapper that we actually have no batteries in, but the kids have been pretending to, like, kill the mosquitoes and stuff like that, because we're already starting to get some bugs. And we're talking about what bugs, are okay, I guess, to kill, even though some people think that you shouldn't kill any bugs, but I'm gonna kill the mosquitoes and the spiders. But we leave the bees alone. The bees that are good for us, we leave alone. We've been talking about that. So over in the texture table, I actually had it looking a lot nicer before the toddler jumped in and like played, you know, made a huge mess. But we had some seeds in there because we've been, you know, exploring the different seeds that we're planting. We had some like fake flowers and some lentils, dried lentils, and they just looked like dirt. What else? Oh, I think there was like some sand in there. I don't know, just fun texture stuff that was related to spring. My only objective for that was just basically for them to just use their hands and their imagination and just explore. For Declan, with classical conversations, we learn a lot about plants, parts of the plants, and you know, science stuff. So I can try to go back and find that memory work related to this theme and kind of like ask him that through the floral shop game. Like, okay, you're a florist, you would know what are some parts of whatever. So like that's also a way I can incorporate learning. And over here I'm going to show you a writing center. And so we actually have a lifetime membership to a website called education.com, and it is a life savior because we, like I said, we're not committed to a specific curriculum other than classical conversations. We're not, I wouldn't even consider us like unschoolers either. Like, we have a very unique style. I take it day to day. I have one that really loves to do the worksheets. Scarlett loves doing worksheets. Declan is a hit or miss, but this website makes learning so much fun. So I created a writing station, and with Mother's Day coming up and our little flower shop over there, they can pretend they're going to write a Mother's Day card. Or even just send flowers to somebody and write a little note. So we have like our little mailbox, and we have some stationery stuff here. Education.com is just literally like such a blessing because you can just type in flowers and there are tons of stuff. Spring, birds, bugs, bees, anything you type in. If you have their lifetime membership, you can print out workbooks, lesson plans, and like it's just really hard to explain my homeschooling style because I don't use like any day-to-day curriculum. And classical conversations it's just so nice because it's very versatile on how I can use it in other ways. Using some of the memory work here, and we're talking about, you know, some parts of plants and stuff like that. So here are some of the activities I printed out. This is something that they have to cut out and put in order. My printer, I actually have to reprint this because my printer kind of like chopped off the side of this, but this is all from education.com. This is like a matching game. You have to match for that to that, yeah. So, yeah, this is all stuff that we are going to be working through this week. We have some bird and spring stickers that they can play with, and this is another fun activity. So Scarlett did a caterpillar. This is a drawing stamp book. So basically you're going to create drawings with just using thumbprints, and so this has been a lot of fun. So these are our stamps here, and they go ahead and just do it on the paper, but they follow the step-by-step directions. So there's been some spring examples in here. So lastly, I actually have one last bucket of books that I just thought were related to spring that weren't learning based. So this way they could, you know, enjoy some downtime reading. We have a ladybug book. We have a stormy day book because we have been starting to get some storms. So it's always fun reading during those stormy days. A green garden book. another storm book, and Hey Little Ant, because Sylvie has been finding all the ants underneath the rocks and stuff in the dirt. So I really hope this video was helpful to you. This is my first time creating content like this. Normally I hop on and I just talk about, you know, whatever is on my mind related to motherhood, and this is kind of the style I wanted to go with. I have been so passionate about this type of learning, and my kids and I are diving in. We're taking the plunge, and we're just going to start, you know, doing a lot more themes at home so we can get playing and use our imagination. And I really wanted to inspire others to do so, because it's just a fun way for kids to enjoy learning. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, because I'm going to be doing a lot more videos like this. And comment below if you found this helpful and if you have any ideas, and I would love to see some pictures of
I want my mommy
of you and your kids enjoying spring.